How to report securities fraud and why you need the right SEC law firm. Have you ever witnessed securities fraud? That could be inside trading, market manipulation, Ponzi schemes, or even a company falsifying its financials, to name a few felonious festivities that companies engage in. You might be unsure about what to do next. Reporting securities fraud may seem daunting, but if you do it correctly, not only can you protect investors and the integrity of the markets, but you could also receive a significant financial reward through the SEC Whistleblower Program, potentially millions of dollars and maybe even tens of millions of dollars. Reporting securities fraud isn't just about submitting a tip. How you report, when you report, and maybe most importantly, who represents you can make all the difference. The SEC receives thousands of whistleblowers tips each year. Over 99% of them go into the circular file, never seen, never result in a reward because they aren't properly framed, they're not documented right, and you're not legally protected. That's where SEC whistleblower law firms like Brown LLC come in. I'm Jason Brown, former FBI special agent and legal advisor, and the lead trial attorney at the whistleblower law firm of Brown LLC. At our law firm, we have a dedicated whistleblower team, and our extended team includes other Department of Justice alumni. And for our SEC cases, we collaborate with a former SEC official. We've helped whistleblowers successfully navigate many cases, and in 2024, we had the privilege of having the largest aggregate whistleblower case in the country, if not the world, at $950 million, albeit past results don't guarantee future success. So what is securities fraud? It could be insider trading, where executives or employees use confidential information to trade stock before the public knows. Market manipulation, artificially inflating or deflating stock prices through deceptive practices, like stuff online. Accounting fraud, companies falsifying financial records to mislead investors or any misleading of investors. The worst are Ponzi schemes and investment fraud, using new investor money to pay old investors instead of showing legitimate profits. Now here's the key question. How do you know if what you've witnessed qualifies as securities fraud? That's where our SEC law firm comes in. We analyze your evidence, determine whether it meets the SEC's criteria, and help structure your report so it stands out. How the SEC Whistleblower Program works. The SEC Whistleblower Program was established in 2010 under Dodd-Frank Act, and it provides two critical benefits to whistleblowers. Number one, financial whistleblower rewards. If your tip leads to sanctions over $1 million, you can receive 10 to 30% of the recovered amount. Some whistleblowers have received whistleblower awards exceeding $100 million. Number two, confidentiality and protection. What's better than receiving all that money and remaining anonymous? You can remain anonymous if you work with an SEC whistleblower attorney, and the SEC is legally prohibited from revealing your identity. However, most whistleblower cases fail because they aren't presented effectively, don't contain enough actionable evidence, and just are put in the circular file right from the beginning from the SEC. That's why it's critical to have a firm that understands the SEC process. How to report securities fraud the right way. Here's how you properly report securities fraud. You have to gather evidence lawfully and ethically, which can be emails, financial records, internal reports, or witness statements. Vague claims don't get attention, get thrown out. But before you start gathering evidence, retain one of the best SEC whistleblower law firms. Because if you gather evidence the wrong way, your employer may fire you and your case may be over before it begins. Number two, you need to work with whistleblower counsel. You must submit your case through an SEC whistleblower attorney if you want to remain anonymous. And anonymity is critical, especially if you're a well-placed insider. After you do the first two, come up with your theory and file the TCR with the SEC, the tips complaint report. You could do it online, but you have to do it the right way. Vague or incomplete reports, just throw them out. The SEC can't verify your claim, don't know what you're talking about, it's done. If you wait too long, you may lose. First to file has the advantage. Not using an SEC lawyer. If you don't have legal protection, your identity could be exposed and you may face retaliation. At Brown LLC, we make sure your claim is really strong with the evidence you gave, compelling and legally protected from day one. Why you need an SEC law firm and why you should choose Brown LLC. So why choose our firm when reporting securities fraud? Here's why. We protect your identity. We file claims anonymously so your name is not exposed. We try to maximize your reward. The SEC does not reward weak or vague claims. We make sure your report is sufficiently detailed and structured to help obtain results. We have experience with SEC cases. Our team understands exactly what to present and who to present it to from the very beginning to get their attention. We shield you from retaliation. If your employer retaliates, we may or will take legal action to protect your rights. But if we file it anonymously, this won't happen. With the right legal strategy, you could turn your inside knowledge into a life-changing SEC whistleblower reward while staying fully anonymous and protected. If you suspect securities fraud, don't stay silent. The SEC Whistleblower Program rewards those who step up, but only if they do it correctly. At Brown LLC, we offer free confidential consultations to help evaluate your case. Call us 877-561-0000 or visit ifightforyourrights.com today. Time matters. The sooner you act, the stronger your case. The longer you wait, the more delayed, the worse off you are. Thanks for watching, and if you found this information valuable, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share this with anyone who may need help. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.